If someone were to come up to me and wanted to borrow $1,000 for something that they wouldn't even need, I would find it kind of ridiculous. But there are certain people who you can always count on that will happily lend you 1,000, even if they would have to sacrifice a lot in order to fulfill your request. They would do it. And although the person actually didn't really want to give it, did it anyway, and now feels kinda stupid, he would rather have that than to just say how he actually felt. And when someone feels the need, the strong urge to please others, even at their own expense, you would have what they would call a people pleaser. People pleasers are actually some of the nicest and most helpful people, and that's because they never really say no. A people pleaser is someone who lives for other people at the expense of themselves. And because of that, you can always count on them for a favor. They spend a great deal of time doing things for other people and trying to anticipate their needs above their own. But you see, certain problems might appear with that. You can be friendly, kind, or generous as a person, sure. But a people pleaser will almost always put other people, their wants, and their needs above their own. And often not because he or she is so friendly, kind, or generous. It often goes deeper than that, which results in the person not being able to just say no. And overall, I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing. Sometimes sacrificing your needs to aid someone else can be a morally right thing to do. That's like a baby wanting to be lifted up, and you look at the baby, and you kinda do whatever he or she says, even though you don't really want to, and your arms are pretty tired. What you do now is a form of people pleasing. You sacrifice what you would rather want for the wants and needs of others. But I would say that in this example, the cons are not really that bad. Yes, I am pretty tired, but look how cute this baby is. Okay, fine. But if you were to do it all the time, every time, that's not gonna turn out well. The strategy of people pleasing is actually pretty common, and a lot of people do it. But why would that be? Well, one of the reasons is because it actually kind of works most of the time. If you were to get robbed, you would literally have to people please your way out of potentially not getting murdered. Also, for some people, being bullied or being humiliated is just easier than sticking up for themselves. For some reason, they physically or mentally are not able to do it. And I think you can already see some cracks in this strategy of people pleasing. In the end, you don't really win. Except if you kinda have to, but in general, you don't really win. Something else about people pleasing is that most people who do it aren't even fully aware that they do it. And so I made a small ranking list to see where one would stand on a scale from 1 to 10. And so in the lower ranks, we're dealing with someone who actually doesn't really have major problems, to be honest. You're able to stand up for yourself if the situation asks for it. Not always, but good enough. You do now and then get some type of things you don't really want, but they're minor and not really worth paying attention to. All in all, not too bad. Then, if we were to go to the middle ranks, we have someone who is kind of wrestling with authenticity. You agree with someone a bit faster than you actually want, or you apologize a bit faster than you want to avoid conflict. You would rather avoid conflict overall because when someone gets mad at you or doesn't like you, you feel like you have done something wrong and should make it up to them. And in general, you don't really get disrespected, but you don't really get respected. But then you have the higher ranks. You get straight up disrespect, and we got a problem. People will often use you, and they're not even bad people per se. It's just you. You would literally bend your knees to please others. And it doesn't matter what the reason is, honestly. You just look goofy. You just look stupid and a bit goofy. But to be fair, that's probably just the way you grew up and how you learned to interact with people, only getting positive interactions when pleasing others. It's sad, but it is what it is. And in conclusion, if you are a people pleaser or you have problems with saying no, here is a real-time conversation that shows you step by step what you should do. Hey man, can I borrow $1,000? No. That's it. And Thank you for watching. Take care.